Right, we're joined by Rob Tuvey, who's just been announced as Dorking Wanderers head of football and first team coach. Rob, thanks for taking the time. How are you doing?
Yeah, all good, Eddie, thanks.
Brilliant. Well, I think this has been a long time coming. Some fans might have seen you around in the latter half of last season. Let's familiarise the fans with you, starting with your football journey. You spent over a decade at Wimbledon, rising through the ranks all the way to assistant manager. Talk us through your story up until joining us back in December.
Yeah, so a real long time at Wimbledon, a club that is very close to my heart, give me a platform to be able to produce some really exciting players, but also develop myself as a person, as a coach, allowed me to sort of test my skills out and just ultimately give me the platform to become the coach that I am today, really. So, so grateful for the journey that I went on there. Managed to coach every age group from sevens through to first team, and then spent a few years with the first team. Like a great journey, a great football club, and one that I always fondly remember. When I left there, moved to Sutton United, and done their under-18s for a few months. Another great football club, steeped in history, with some great group of players, and one that I was sad to leave, but when the opportunity came to come here, it was one that I couldn't turn down.
Yeah, and so someone of your calibre, having been an assistant manager in League One, what was it that convinced you to make the move to Dorking?
Yeah, I think when you speak to the people here and you see the drive and determination they've got to be better, it sort of aligns with where I want to do, what I want to do in my journey as well. I want to strive to work at the highest level, but I want to take a club on a journey with that as well. I think the plans that Jonathan Bynes and Mark spoke to me about before coming here was something that I could really get on board with. And it's when you get here and you see the passion that the people have got, that everyone's got around the building, and you really learn what the Wanderers way is and what it takes to work for this football club. And ultimately this football club's about winning, and I want to get back to winning. I want to be part of a winning machine, and take this club forward and write my own chapter of history in the football club as well.
Well, yeah, that's brilliant. And you mentioned Jonathan and Mark there. Can you talk us through what the role of head of football entails? Obviously, that sounds slightly more broader than just focusing on the first team.
Yeah, I think what it entails a lot of is we've amalgamated a youth section this summer. We've done a lot of work on it. There's a lot of work that was going on before across two sections, run really well by Richard King and Jordan Clark. But we brought them together, and it's just about leaning on my experiences a little bit to try and produce a youth section that ultimately one day could be ready for an EFL club as well. So that's the idea, is to try and bring the club in line with what an EFL club potentially will look like, and trying to make sure that we have all the processes and protocols in place for when the time comes that we're ready.
Brilliant. And you can touch on it there. So the vision is to be an EFL club standard youth section. Is that like an academy? Is that the goal?
Yeah, so obviously it looks a little bit different from when I was doing it, but yeah, the idea is that when we become an EFL club, can we be in line throughout the club? So can we have an academy that's ready and is working towards the standards of what the EFL academies are put towards? So they're put through audits, etc. So we're trying to audit ourselves from now to see, have we got the right processes in place? Are we able to produce players ultimately? That's our ultimate game, is we want to produce players for Dorking Wanderers first team. But if that means also that boys go on and they achieve a career within the game, then we've also done our job as well. So I think it's making sure that we're more aligned as a football club, that we're trying to produce footballers, because ultimately we're a professional football club. We're a professional football club, and we want to try and make sure that we uphold them values that the club has, but doing that by producing good people and good footballers as well.
Absolutely. And so turning the focus to your capacity as first team coach, what are your responsibilities there?
Yeah, so I'm head coach for the first team. So ultimately, training schedules, training plans, that's my passion. Getting on the grass and working with players and improving players and looking at the tactics of games. I'm very lucky that to have Mark with me, because Mark has got such great experience within the game and has worked. What he's done with his football club is second to none. It's incredible what he's done. So it allows me to learn off Mark in terms of a managerial role, but it also allows me to be on the grass and be able to add some value in terms of my coaching, and just trying to make sure that I can aid Mark in as many ways that I can, really.
And I guess, so on both of those points, first team and the youth section, what qualities and experience do you feel you bring with you from your time at other clubs? Yeah,
I think the main thing is, obviously, I've worked at a higher level, so I know what that looks like, but I've also worked at a club that have got not the biggest resources, which obviously when you come into a club like Dorking, we're not the biggest club, we don't have the biggest resources, but what we do have is we have a great story here, and we have something that we can all lean on and all know what we're trying to drive towards. So everyone you come in contact with here has a shared vision of where they want the club to go, and that's to try and achieve EFL status. So that's really, really good for me. That's something that I want to be a part of. I want to make sure that I've got that shared aligned vision with Mark, with the stakeholders, with the fans as well, and hopefully we can all go on a journey together to reach that EFL journey as well.
Absolutely. You touched on the fans there. It's something they might want to hear your thoughts on are the makeup of the squad. So obviously one of the key focuses of the summer period is looking at how the squad looks coming into pre-season. Talk us through your influence on the makeup of the team and what each of the new lads bring to the side.
Yeah, it's been a busy summer. First part of the summer was obviously looking at the squad, the existing squad, and making some really tough decisions in terms of some people that have created an incredible part in the story of Dorking Wanderers and have been here for a long time, and obviously that's always really difficult when you're making them decisions, because you want to see them grow with the football club, and they have for years. But what we looked at in the summer was trying to make sure that we had a clear vision going into next season, in terms of making sure that we had a real close-knitted squad, a real good morale within the squad, and ultimately trying to, when we're going into the market, to look for players, looking at players that have played a higher level, and that was key for us. And I think with the three lads that we brought in, they've all played at a higher level. They're all great lads who have got fantastic personalities, and I think will really add to the makeup of the squad that we've got. But not forgetting what a Dorking Wanderers team and players should look like. I think that's the main thing, and I'm very lucky to now have worked alongside Dukey, to work alongside Dino and Mark himself, to really understand what the Dorking Wanderers way is and what the Dorking Wanderers players should look like. And I think that's really important. I think we've really honed in on character this summer, as well as the playing ability and what they can add to what we believe a Dorking Wanderers team should look like moving forward.
Well, that's great. Sounds really exciting. One of the players in particular, Louis, I believe you had an involvement with in his youth stages. Talk us through what the fans can expect from him.
Yeah, Louis, I coached when he was really young at his school, and then he actually came in on trial at Wimbledon a few times, and we've always stayed in touch. He's a local lad to me, so yeah, we've always bumped into each other, stayed in touch, followed his career. Obviously, he's done great with his international career. Louis is a really exciting prospect. Louis a National League player. There's no two ways about it. He definitely is. He's above the level. But what we will have with Louis is we'll have a calm and composed ball-playing centre-back who can really play and fit into the way that we want a Dorking team to look. So I think that you'll see someone who is willing to take risks with the ball, someone who is dominant in both boxes, and hopefully the fans can really connect with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Look forward to seeing him play. Just finally, what are your objectives for the season coming up, but also more broadly for the club?
Yeah, I think the season's coming up. We know that it's going to be a tough league. I don't want to give a boring answer, because ultimately we're Dorking, and as I said at the start of the interview, this is a winning club. The club are used to winning, are used to picking up trophies. So that's our aim. Our aim is to win. Our aim is to go into every game looking to see, can we maximise ourselves and get 3 points? Can we maximise the ability of the football playing squad? That's our aim. Long term, as I've said all the way through, our aim is to become an EFL club. My aim is to get back to being an EFL coach again, and I want to do that with the club. So I'm really excited about the future. I think the playing squad that we've got, the infrastructure that the club that Mark and Jonathan have built, is always growing and is so exciting. So I think the sky's the limit for the football club, and hopefully I can play a massive part in that.
Well, I know I speak on behalf of everyone here at Dorking. It's been a pleasure to get to know you over the last 6 months. I'm really looking forward to what's to come.
Cheers, Eddie.
Cheers, Rob.
Cheers.